Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining today. If this is your first time on this channel, please do not forget, subscribe here, alright? The subscribe button is below here, and please make sure you turn on the notification bell so that when I post the next video, you would be the first to watch. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing this content. Please like this video for me. That should be the very first thing. The like button is down here. Please click the like button. Just press on it like this. Thank you so much. Today's video, I'm going to take you to Europe and I want to explain a little detailedly or a little further insight. And this country I want to focus more today is Sweden. Yes, I have been for long without talking about Sweden. That is because the online application for those who applied for programs in Swedish universities, they were still expecting results, and results will be out on around the 30th of March, which means that those that are looking to study in the spring season has to be getting ready because the spring admissions begins in June, all right, around June 1st. For those who will be studying in January 2024, lectures begins in January 2024. So if you don't get an admissions now on the results will be released on the 30th. You should target January 2024, all right? And for you to apply for against January 2024, you need to start on the 1st of June. Now, we are going to be talking about Sweden, and I want to draw your attention to the fact that things are no longer the same in Europe, and a lot of things have improved, rather changed, all right? So you should be expecting difficult times now to apply for admissions because the competition is becoming greater, or let me say a lot of people are now putting in for applications. Moving further, if you must apply for Sweden or study programs in Sweden, you should understand that there is no entrance examination if you want to study in Sweden. That is the first thing. But Finland has, let's say, an online exam. Austria has it as well, but Sweden does not have an online exam. Another thing is you should understand that if you want to study a bachelor's or a master's or PhD program in Sweden, you can as well migrate with your family, all right? If you have 2 children, 3 children, 4 kids, you can as well take them to Sweden. But hey, there is one thing you need to focus on: proof of funds. Remember, as an adult, as an international student who is moving to Sweden, you need to show that you have at least 8,650 or 8,700 Swedish krona. Now you are moving with family, and this money should be around 850, 900 euros. Therefore, you need to show this money times 12 for your proof of funds. But again, it must be in your own personal bank account. And now, if you are moving with children, if you are going with your husband or let's say your family, you need to multiply for those children as well. But remember, your own amount, you need around 800 plus per month, but those children will need around 500, 600, all right? So just multiply the amount and do a rough estimate and put in the bank account, preferably the joint account of the family. It's good to go. So you need all this money, and if you look at it very well, it is going to be very heavy. So those of you who are waiting for admissions to be released on the 30th of this month, I'm sure, yes, it should be the 30th of this month, you should prepare yourselves if you want to migrate with your spouse to Sweden. Another thing is those who will be applying from June 1st should get ready to start studies by January 2024. Now, there are 2 intakes in Sweden, like I have been explaining already, so you should get used to that. If you are in Sweden, you can access all the other Schengen countries and all the other members of the European Union. That is something you should put into consideration as well. There is no entrance exam. For those of you who have been asking me if there is an age limit, there is no age limit to study in Sweden, guys. So what are you waiting for? It is also very possible to gain a scholarship to study in Swedish universities. I will explain more further. But now, how do you do the application? The application is done using a central platform. It is called universityadmissions.se. all right, it is called universityadmissions.se, and in this application system you have to create an account, all right? Then on the top page you will see where they will say upload documents. You then upload all your required documents. First of all, create the account, then you keep your password, because this password you are going to be using it to do other applications, or let me say to do more of your programs, all right, or to access the portal. But when you create the account, the first thing you need to do is to upload those certificates. If you want to apply for a bachelor's degree, then you need just your high school certificates, which is your WAEC, your O levels, your advanced level, your baccalaureate examination. If it is in French, convert it to English and attach the two copies, the French and the English version. Now, if you are going to be studying for a master's program, you need to attach your WAEC, your high school documents, and your bachelor's degree transcript and the attestation, all right, or the diploma. But remember, alongside these documents, you need to also add your international passport. It is very important, all right. Cameroonians O levels and advanced level is very important. And of course, if you have an HND, make sure you upload the certificate and the transcript as well. HND is not accepted for masters in Sweden. Therefore, you are going to choose a bachelor's degree program. But there are some courses that when you move to campus, they will drop those courses for you. So this is something you should pay attention to, and always remember that all requirements are not the same per university. If you are applying to Swedish universities, you should note that there are general requirements which include your passport and all your educational certificates, and there are specific requirements which now goes with specific universities, which include your CV, your motivation letter, or maybe your statement of purpose, and other documents like the reference letters. It may come in here, but not very common. Then on the general requirements, you equally need to add your English certificate, like your IELTS score, your TOEFL score. If you have, or if you graduated from a university where English was the language of instruction, or your degrees are in English, and you come from an English speaking country, you can as well just get a document to prove that all these are true. Then you apply to these programs. First, upload your documents. Then secondly, in Sweden, you can choose 4 different programs to apply for. I would now draw your attention to the fact that if you want to study in Sweden, make sure among these 4 programs you have selected, your first program, your best program, or the one you want most should be at the top. Remember equally that for you to apply to Sweden, there are specific dates you have to follow. There is a date for you to apply online. There is a date in which you must submit all your documents. There is a date in which you must send all your required documents. In case the documents you added online are not enough, the application board or the Swedish authorities will tell you to send extra documents, which include a copy of your transcript. Please, those of you who have been asked by the Swedish authority or university admissions to send your transcript to them directly from your own university in your home country or where you studied, please make sure you follow up with your university to make sure that they send the transcript. This same process have messed up with a lot of international students that I know. At the end of the day, the schools will say they have sent the documents, but they will not send it. So you have to make sure that you send all these documents and make sure that they are in correct order. All right. So those are some of the things you need to pay attention to. Make sure they send all the documents to the university board or the school in Sweden or universityadmissions.se. This is a central platform. Again, before you apply to Sweden, make sure you verify the tuition fee, because the tuition fee you are going to see, you will always find a first deposit that as soon as you get admissions, you are going to deposit this money. All right. I just want to do a general rundown before I talk about how you are going to get the application, the admissions letter, and what you need to do after the admissions letter. Also remember that schools in Sweden are somehow a little affordable and expensive, but if you are not coming from a wealthy family or background, please look elsewhere. But if you want to really study in Sweden, understand that Sweden is a country where there are a lot of opportunities. Healthcare is great. Education system is great. All right. Everything, job opportunities are great. So you should put this into consideration before you apply to universities in Sweden. There are a lot of universities in Sweden, ranging from the University of Uppsala. You have the University of Gothenburg. You have the University of Umeå. All right. There are a lot of them. The University of Lunia. A lot of state universities offering a lot of different degree programs, and of course a variety of scholarships, with the best scholarship being the Swedish Institute Scholarship. This is a fully funded scholarship, and I will be explaining more about the scholarship. If you want to apply for a university and of course apply for their scholarship, make sure the university that you selected is the best university you want to study in, and make sure you put it at the top of your programs. If you are selecting different programs, like I said, you have the chance to select 4 different programs. Make sure the best university and the best program should be at the top of the programs you have selected. And remember, there is a final deadline for you to how are they calling it, to classify your courses or to rank your courses. It is called ranking, course ranking. All right, so that is something you should note. And remember that as soon as you get admissions, you are going to pay first tuition deposit. Now, these are the documents and how you are going to arrange your portal. And in this particular portal, there is something a lot of internationals don't know. When you go to this portal, you are going to find courses with 7.5 ECTS credit unit. You are going to find courses with 30 credit units. You are going to find courses with 60 credit units. And you are going to find courses with 120 and 180 credit unit. If you want to migrate to Sweden and study without headache and get the insurance in Sweden, you should take a course that is 90 credit units and above. 60 credit courses are lesser and you will not be able to get the insurance in Sweden. There is a particular insurance. Without that insurance, you may not get anything to work in Sweden. So make sure you take courses that are 90 ECTS credit unit and above, up to 180. And remember, the higher your ECTS, the more expensive your courses are. Those of you who are interested in geosciences and those who are interested in environmental sciences, make sure that you check the University of Omea. And those who are into IT and chemical engineering, you can check Gothenburg and of course the University of Uppsala. Now, when you follow all these things, do not forget that there is an application fee payment you have to make to the universities. All right, universities at admissions.se is not for free. You have to pay a charging fee, all right, or administrative fee of 900 SEK, which is equivalent to 90 euros. This application fee is more or less like a fee they are using to maybe go through your documents and check all your files to see if they are okay. Of course, you don't expect them to do it for free. Them, I mean universityadmissions.se. Remember, when you rank your courses, various courses are put according to various universities. Let's say if you want to study at Uppsala, you should try to first of all check an individual link to see if they have that particular course you are following, in case you don't find your course on universityadmissions.se to study in Sweden. Now, when you are applying for these programs, there is another date for you to apply for the Swedish Institute scholarships. Please always pay attention to the dates in which you are going to be applying for this scholarship, because if you don't follow the dates, the scholarship is going to expire and you will lose your position. However, also remember, this is a full funded scholarship, and of course it is very competitive, so you never can tell if you are going to get the scholarship or not. So my advice is, make sure you take a program that you can afford. Make sure if you are applying to Sweden, you will be able to afford without the scholarship, and make sure that you put in a strong application so that you can win this scholarship, because if you win this scholarship, that is an excellent job you have done. Now, after you finish with all this, remember that your school, with the top prioritized school, that I mean the school, the best school you want to go in, should be at the top. And remember, after that, after the admissions, you have to make deposits, huge deposits, like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 euros. All right, it is in Swedish krona, so make sure you convert from the website to know how much you are going to be looking at. After the admissions, now, if you win the scholarship, then the next thing you need to do is to apply for your visa. If you don't win the scholarship, the first thing you need to do is to pay tuition deposit before you get your documents, the final acceptance offer to apply for the visa. However, you need to understand that for you to apply for the visa, you need those documents you use at the beginning to apply for the scholarship. You equally need documents like insurance and, of course, proof of or proof of funds. But insurance type, depending on the program, if you are a bachelor student, you will need the insurance before traveling to Sweden. If you are a master's and PhD student, I probably think that you can move to Sweden, then you buy a certain insurance that you are going to be using. But again, it depends. If you have a job, some companies will subsidize to do the insurance for you. So it all depends on what you are doing. And again, when you are applying for the visa, like I already mentioned, proof of funds, you need to arrange proof or the funds to apply for the visa, and the funds increases as the number of persons in the family increases. Now, when you are booking the accommodation, or let me say for accommodation, there are a lot of universities in Sweden that will give you free accommodation. Not like it's free, but you have the chance. They may give you a document to prove to the embassy that you already have your accommodation that you are coming to take. All right, that is something you need to do. These documents I'm talking about, they are part of the residence permit you are going to be applying for. However, when you finish submitting the documents alongside your educational credentials, your bank statement, your medicals, and everything, you will now go to the interview. And of course, if you get the residence permit, you are going to migrate to Sweden with your spouse. Remember, the residence permit comes like a card, all right, like an identity card. For those of us who use identity cards, we already know what it is. It comes like in form of the card directly from the embassy, and of course, you people will collect and migrate to Sweden. When you move to Sweden, the pathway to permanent residency and of course, citizenship does not go a bit high again. Like is to say, you don't face a lot of challenges to get all these details. But remember, as we are all fighting to migrate abroad, most embassies will need you to prove a lot of documents. So do not prove beyond reasonable doubt to the embassy. Supply the right documents and you sit and pray you are going to get the visa. I say so because a lot of people come to me, they are like, Milton, is this visa guarantee? Please, again, for the umpteenth time, there is no visa which is guaranteed. You must be able to demonstrate that you have money to study abroad. You must be able to show that you have the required documents to study abroad before your visa can be granted, and so many other documents. Remember, in Sweden, accommodation is not that cheap. If you want to get accommodation in a place like Uppsala, expect 1,800, 900, 1,000, 1,100 euros and above for your accommodation, depending on the lifestyle you are living. I hope you understand this video, and I believe that it's going to help you. For those of you who are applying for study in Sweden from faraway countries, that is to say, if you don't have the Swedish embassy in your home country, it is fine. You can go to Abuja, Nigeria and apply for it. For those who are closer to Nigeria, all right, always verify all these details to know where and how you are going to go about it. Remember, still on the universityadmission.se, when you are doing your online application, when you upload a document, you have to click save in order to have the material in the system. Otherwise, it is going to wipe out and you may probably not get it when you need it more. I hope you understand and I hope you enjoyed this video. Till we meet again in another one.